Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Uncle Demi Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Uncle Demi, and today I have a very special guest, ColetheMan, a dynamic and influential figure in the gaming community, is renowned for his engaging NBA 2K content on YouTube. With a subscriber base of over 900,000, Cole has carved out a niche for himself with his captivating montage, insightful let's plays, and comprehensive tutorials. His channel is a hub for NBA 2K enthusiasts, offering a blend of entertainment and practical advice for gamers of all levels. Starting his journey on April 5th, 2015, Cole was consistently delivering content that resonates with the gaming community. His passion for the game is evident in every video, whether he's showcasing unstoppable dribble moves or sharing his latest builds in NBA 2K. Beyond gaming, Cole's life is marked by a milestone like his marriage to Grace in March 2021. His love for luxury cars, including BMWs, Lamborghinis, and Teslas. Cole's presence on social media extends to Twitter and Twitch, where he continues to engage his audience through tweets and live streams. His approachable persona and dedication to his craft make him a standout content creator and a respected voice in the NBA 2K community. Everybody give a welcome to my man, ColetheMan. What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up? I appreciate all the kind words. That was a lot right there. I appreciate that.
I always tell people, man, it's like, I got to give credit, man. My wife helps me out a lot with these.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I've been like, when I knew I was going to do the podcast, you were one of the first people I wanted to get on because you're one of the first people that I watched. You know what I'm saying? So when I was like getting into the content, or just before then, just playing the game, you were somebody that was a source that I went to for a lot of things. So it's kind of like full circle now. I'd be like, yo, like it's crazy. I used to watch him all the time. Now I get to sit with him and have a conversation. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have you on, brother.
Me too. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. So, we're going to kick it off, man. Like, so basically a lot of people, this is going to be a first time they really get to kind of peel it back a little bit. Content creators get to know a little bit more about you. Obviously most people know that you're from Georgia, but let's just talk about Lil Cole, before, all this right here. Let's talk about Cole. Like, how was, like the upbringing coming up, in outskirts of Georgia or Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I grew up a little bit south of Atlanta. Growing up, believe it or not, I did a lot of motocross. I did a lot of motocross growing up. I started when I was 3. Not like the back in the farm, backyard, jumping dirt hills. I did like amateur motocross growing up from age of 3 until 9 years old. Went over to France, went over to Belgium, and rode for some I rode for Cobra motorcycles, if anybody knows who that is or what that is. But I rode for them. Rode for Monster Energy, Team Green for a little bit. I was like 7 to 8 years old. Started to get like a lot of injuries, a lot of concussions. So my dad took me out of motocross. And then I started to play golf competitively. So I went from motocross, went from playing golf competitively. And throughout that whole time, I've always played video games and NBA Live, 2K, any basketball game you can name it since I was little. But that was my upbringing, a lot of sports. And
wait a minute, man. So most parents or kids, they're like, yo, I play basketball, baseball, football, soccer. You did motocross. So if I'm thinking motocross, is that the ones with like, it's the opening and you have like the safety rail right across coming over you?
No, so it's motocross is kind of like dirt bikes, basically. It's dirt bikes.
Oh, it's dirt bikes.
Okay. Yeah. So supercross, motocross, like I did that growing up. So yeah.
And who got you in that? Your pops?
My dad. Yeah, my dad did motocross when he was at a younger age. So then he got me into it when I was 3. First time I ever rode was 3 years old. So it's kind of crazy. Now that I have a son, it's like I don't think I would ever let my kid do that when I was 3 years old.
Like I'm sitting here. My son is 3, and he's still trying to figure out how to take the training wheels off his bike.
Yeah.
You're riding the motorcycles, bro. That's pretty dope. So then, obviously, injuries came on, and then you went over to golf, which makes sense now because you actually do golf now. You take it seriously because you even dabbled in trying to have a whole channel for it. So how did golf go? And like did golf started when you was around 8 or 9, and did it take you? Did you think that maybe that would be like you'd be the next Tiger Woods, or it wasn't your passion as much?
Yeah. So when I quit motocross, my dad got me into golf. So I started playing golf when I was like fifth grade, sixth grade. And golf is, I don't care what anyone has to say, it's got to be the hardest sport of all time. It's the hardest sport to get good at. It takes a lot of time. And I started to get better a few years in. Started playing competitively in some tournaments. I played high school golf, of course. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what it was. Golf was just my whole entire life.
Mhm.
I actually was working at a golf course before, while I was making YouTube videos when I first started, and I
Mm,
eventually was going to try to make that a source of income and make that my full-time job, something to do with golf,
mm.
whether that's working at a golf course or maybe doing content for it. I know at the end of the day, like when I was younger, I knew I was like, oh, I want to do something golf related, but
Mhm.
things changed and whatnot. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So high school is as far as you took it, nothing collegiately?
No, no. I stopped. I
Oh,
stopped. Stopped. I stopped taking it seriously my senior year.
your senior. Cool. Did you go to college or anything like that?
Yeah, I went to college for 2 years. Don't ask me what my grades were, but yeah, I went for a couple of years. Yeah.
Okay. And then you were saying that during that time frame, you were like, hey, you want to do content creation. And it wasn't actual 2K. It was going to be golf, correct?
Well, no, no. I just I back then I had no clue what I wanted to do. I was just kind of like going to college, making YouTube videos, and at first, it was 2K videos. That's what I was making originally.
Okay.
Summer of 2015. That's when I graduated.
There
It
you
was
go. Yeah.
almost
Hey,
10
hey,
years ago.
I got my
Wow.
notes here. I'm a Fed, man. 2015, baby. So 2015, you started doing 2K videos. What led you into doing 2K videos? Was there people that you were watching, or you were just like naturally? Because that is very early in
Mhm.
YouTube. You know what I'm saying, to be doing that. You're one of the few, like the second wave of OGs of
Yeah.
2K video or streamer
Yeah, so
creators.
like I said, I've always played 2K growing up. I mean, I think first basketball game was maybe NBA Live 2000, maybe 1999. I don't know. I was on the
Mhm.
controller like really early. Whichever one with not Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett was on the cover. That was the
Yeah.
first
Okay.
basketball game I've ever played. So I got into that. Then I got into 2K, and yeah, just the love of 2K, love of basketball, just playing that. And then of course there's creators I watched. I watched strictly my career growing up. I don't think there was any park around anyways. I mean, there was like
Yeah.
blacktop,
No.
but
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of course everyone says Chris Move. You got to watch Chris Move. That's got to be in your OG list. I watched
Yep.
Stacks Montana a lot. Um,
Hmm.
Juice Man, back in the day, he was
Yep.
Body Bag. I watched him a lot. But yeah, those are like the main three I watched growing up. And
And then
yeah, I was
that
like, you
kind of
know what? I'm just gonna post, and I didn't, I wasn't trying to become a big content creator. I was just like, oh,
mhm.
this looks cool. I kind of want to do it too.
Yeah.
So
And then so once you started doing that, when did you start taking it serious where you was like, oh snap, I have a future in this? Was it a blow up video, or was it just like a grind at first, or was it instant success?
yeah, so I personally think on my channel, I've never had a serious like 1 year where like I just blew up, right? I just
Hmm.
think constantly it was kind of like just a subtle growth. But I think it was in the summer of 2K16 is when I started to gain some traction. I had like around 10,000 subscribers or something like that. And then
Hmm.
when 2K17 dropped, that's when I really started to take my channel serious. I was still going to college and I was still working at the golf course. But that's the year where I really wanted to quit working or going to college,
Hmm.
one of the two, because I was living with my parents and they were like, you gotta be able to make enough, for us to, basically approve of that if you're going to live here. So
Yeah.
I was locked in 20, late 2016, early 2017, and I started to figure out how YouTube worked, how the algorithm worked, and basically how to get views. And in
Hmm.
2K17, I did a lot of search related videos, whether that's best jump shots, best builds, etc.,
Yeah.
all that stuff. And that's what really got me out there for like, I think in 2K17, I posted a dribble tutorial early on and it got a lot of views. Like it got like 800,000 views. And for me
Jeez.
back then, I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, you know,
Hell
so
yeah.
so yeah, 2K17 was the year where I got some traction and I ended up hitting like 100K before, I think maybe right when 2K18 hit, I hit a hundred
Hmm.
thousand subs. So I think 2K17 was like a year of mine where I like really appreciate, and that's where I started to grow.
And you always was a dribbler, ISO dribbler, or did you start off as another position, or was being guard your main position day one?
Yeah, so like I started playing online like consistently in like 2K15, and I used to watch like Soluminati back in the day and a whole bunch of
Hmm.
different YouTubers who played. And yeah, I've always loved dribbling. Like I would make tall builds, I'd make 7-3 centers, like because you could do that back in 15.
Facts.
But yeah, I would always just learn how to dribble, learn how to ISO, and get open, and that was the funnest way to play 2K for me. So I've always done
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Dope, dope. And then, so when did you started picking up, like the Hank the Tanks and all those guys? Like, when did they start coming into your picture with you? Because they came pretty quickly afterwards. When I looked at them, when I was going back in videos, they were always around.
Yeah, I've known Hank of him. I've known of Hank since like 2K14 or 15.
Hmm.
Um, then I just think I maybe had my first conversation with him in like 2K16. Um, and then yeah, I mean I've known Hank for a bit. I'm trying to think of some other dribblers like Lamonsta. I've known
Yep.
Lamonsta, Swante. There's a few other people who dribble, but I've known like a lot. A lot of those people are OGs, so I've known them since like 2016, 2017.
And then, what was the form of communication back then, man? As far as like, if you want to communicate with Hank or Lamonsta or Swante, you're looking at their YouTube videos. What was the source of communicating? Because back
I
then
think
it
it
was
was
like, I'm trying to think.
Twitter. I think it was
Twitter
just Twitter.
still?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is funny because, and I know this is off topic, but when I first started becoming a content creator, and I was thinking like, well, you know, you were thinking that, maybe like Facebook, Instagram, like all the, Snapchat, it was all these other popular stuff. But it's so funny when the 2K community, Twitter, even though now it's big, but before, you're talking about 3, 4 years ago, it was like, what the hell is everybody on Twitter? Right?
Yeah, I
I'm like,
know,
I don't
right?
really do Twitter. You know what I mean? So it's pretty crazy to think that Twitter is still the main source for 2K.
I know.
It's,
Out of all
so
places.
of all places, 2K. And then, so you're so now you're blowing up, you're getting a buzz. 2K17 comes. You're going into 2K18, and 2K18 is considered like one of the worst games 2K's ever made, right? But to me, when I was looking at your numbers, it was really hard to tell, but you got a lot of traction in 2K18. A lot
Yeah.
of traction. What was your mindset from that 17 to 18? Because that to me, I feel like that was a massive jump for you.
Yeah, so 18 was obviously the gameplay that year was not it. But for me it's always like, if I wanted this to be my full-time job, it's more about that than, the gameplay being
Mm,
fun, or it doesn't matter. Some people go to work sometimes, they don't like their job, but guess what? You got to deal with it. You got to get paid. You got to work. So that was
facts.
the year. That the beginning of that year is the year when I quit college and I quit my job. And my dad said, you need to be making this amount of income, if you're going to live here. So I was like, okay, I got to lock in, right? So 2K18 dropped. Obviously, every 2K on release, it's popping. Views are
Hmm.
good off the rip. And then people really just started to see like the game for what it is back then. Just it's just kind of a dull 2K, not too much going on. The gameplay wasn't the greatest.
Yep.
The neighborhood was kind of dry. Um, and I was originally still posting, those tips and tricks videos, best jump shot videos, those videos that get views. But around like
Hmm.
October, November is when those videos just stopped working, because that game was, OG Fortnite just came out, so no one was really
Yep.
touching 2K like that.
Hmm.
Or like if you're not playing it, they're not going to want to watch it either. So I'm like, all right, I gotta figure out something. So I kind of was looking into the my team content creators back then and seeing what they did. I watched a lot of like LSK Jester's videos, and they were
Hmm.
like very entertaining, like Cashes, all those guys.
Yeah.
Zach, TTG, like all their like it was like just focused on content and like having good energy in the videos and just full on like just being creative, right? And I was like, let me try to
Exactly.
bring that to Park. So
Hmm.
I did my first ever like actual content video. Was like using DJ Khaled's real life jump shot or something like that, and the video
Yeah.
ended up getting like 100,000 views. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is the time to switch up my content because this isn't working. I have to adapt. I got to figure out something else. And it worked perfect because that was the content that originally I wanted to upload and put out to people who want to watch. So yeah,
Exactly.
18 was a crazy year, man. Like I had to focus, I had to adapt, I had to change things up if I wanted to continue to, if I wanted to continue to grow, that's what I had to do. That's what I had to do.
Exactly. And it's amazing because there's so many, I want to say so many creators left during 2K18, but the ones that stayed are literally some of the biggest creators we have in
Hmm.
2K. And like, so that is like a lesson learned for all the creators out there. Like right now at 24, people are saying, oh, 24 is dead. I'm out. Yeah, but 2K18 produced, like, for me, as far as the blow ups, Duke Dennis, ColetheMan, even though I'm Davis was kind of popping 17, but it still made him huge. I feel like Agent made a big jump during that time
Hmm.
frame. But I'm talking about the OGs that we know, or like the creators that we know of. I felt like 18 was the one that weeded out the weak, and whatever was left, it was like the fraternity of like these elite 8 or 9 creators that made it out, and all y'all flourished. All y'all flourished. So
Yep.
that's pretty amazing. Now going into 19, I feel like 19 was huge because 19 is where, again, that's to a lot of, I feel like 19 is a really, really good game. Right.
Hmm.
18 was a setback. I don't know how you feel about 19, but I feel like 19 was really good because that, to me, I feel like that's what really brought out a lot of the dribbling, the ISO dribblers. That's the stretches was really crazy because that's when, you had Grinding and Joe Knows in them,
Hmm.
Nadex, they were going. So there was so many creators at that time, and I felt like there was so much competition in there. But this is also when y'all started this is when TW started, right? In 19, right?
Yep.
So give me this foundation of Hank the Tank, Dignify, Hollywood, and Breezy, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Breeze. Yep.
Yep. So how did that? Tell me the thought process of TW, who the idea, how that all came together, and then y'all started that. Was it
Yeah.
okay?
So
Before you answer that, was it because also you had some other groups that were forming too that was like, oh, like Too Hype and stuff? He's like, oh snap, we can be a Too Hype or blah blah, like the whole thought process.
okay. Yeah, so TW has always been TW originally started as a pro-am team in 2K15, 16.
Mm,
And originally I joined in 2016 in the summer to play pro-am, and I was a content creator as well. Um, but yeah, so TW's always been a thing like back in the day, and then we started to, like, we kind of want to start picking up content creators. Originally it was Breeze and Hollywood, and they
okay.
picked me up, and we kind of started there. And then in late, I think 2K19, the beginning of NBA 2K19 is when we picked up like Dignify, and T-Jack. I know we picked up T-Jack later on. We picked up Hank. Sorry, we
Mm,
picked up Hank.
yeah, Hank. Yeah.
So, but yeah, in 2K19, I was living in my own place, north of Atlanta, and then I think Hank's located in PA. Breeze was located in upstate New York. Hollywood's over in Arizona. We're all spread across the country, and
Mm-hmm.
we saw Too Hype and all that type of stuff, and we were like, yeah, but I feel like we could definitely create some content, whether that's 2K, whether that's IRL. It'd be just really cool
Mm-hmm.
for all of us to live together, and for me that's a big step because I'm an introvert. I love being close to family as well, so it was very like
Yeah.
it was very uncomfortable at first, just the idea of moving. But eventually, we just said, let's just do it, dude. Let's just do it. So, yeah, like towards it was late December is when we moved to the Pembroke Pines area, which is about 40 minutes north of Miami. So it was
Mm-hmm.
me in the house, Hollywood in the house, Breeze, and Hank. So yeah,
Yeah.
we all four of us moved in at first.
And I'm not gonna lie, for me, um, like I said, 19, I was just sitting there, I was like, damn, like these boys really popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm a type person, I just give love, I just give respect when respect's due. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting like, yo, these boys really popping, man. Like, remember, I've been watching you from since like I said, 2K17. So I was like, dang, like Cole really popping. And that from you, I picked that. That's when I started following Hank and all the other guys. But I was just and then when you and Hank showed y'all cars. So let's talk about these vehicles, man. Were
Okay.
like, to me, but when I first happened, I was like, first of all, I was like, dude, that's insane. Like these guys got to be billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, no one knows. Like, obviously, I know now as a creator, but back then, I was just like, dude, like how the like they got Lambos and stuff. Like, what the hell? I was like, dude, like this is the life, bro. This is the life. What's the backstory of those? I mean, obviously they were rented, right? Like, but what's the whole? Give me the mindset of those cars, man. Like, and what was it the lifestyle of showing, your supporters and stuff like, yo, like we got a big ass mansion and we got Lambos.
Yeah, so I was never really a car guy at all. And then I started making more money towards the beginning or late 2018, early 2019, and they were just like, the guys were like, "Yo, you should just get a nice car." And I was like, I mean, I have a Honda Civic, it's brand new. I love Hondas, they're reliable. They're like, "Dude, just get a nice car. You got enough money for it now." I was like, "All right." But yeah, fun fact, they weren't rented though. They weren't rented. We had to put some down payments down on it.
Oh
But
shit,
the
okay.
monthly payments weren't too bad. But
Of
yeah,
course,
dude,
yeah.
back then, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, dude. But I just wasn't a car guy at all, not at all.
What does your
But they
peeps
just
say about
influenced
that?
me. You said what?
Your peeps, what did they say about it when
Oh,
you purchased? Because you got the Lambo first or the BMW? Which one was it?
the BMW i8. That's my
Okay,
first sports
and then
car.
Hank had the Lambo first, right?
Yeah, I think
Lambo, and you had okay,
Hank got a Lamborghini. I think then I got like a Huracan later on. Yeah.
yeah. And so what was your parents thinking? Like, what at this point in time, you gotta, you're living in a mansion, you're in Florida. What is your parents thinking? Because I know what my parents thought of having a hard time understanding the revenue you can get from YouTube and
Yeah.
just how much money you can make from playing video games. Just from, literally, you're talking about your dad telling you like, "Hey, you need to make this much money to be able to pay bills," and you're
Mhm.
like, "Deuces." A year and a half later, I'm in Florida and I'm driving, luxury vehicles. What is your parents thinking?
Um, they were fine with it. They were like, as long as you can afford it, that's fine with me. We want you to be happy. We want you to experience life at a young age, like have a lot of fun young.
Hmm.
But my dad always taught me, which looking back, I learned a lot. He always taught me like, don't work for things. Like, don't how do you say it? Basically, he was like, don't pay for things and feel like you have to work to keep up with these things. And
Ah,
because he
that's
said then
smart. Yeah.
you won't have fun with them. You're gonna feel like you just have to work to keep it. So I learned that later on in life. But
Hmm.
looking back at it, I wouldn't have changed anything, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun with the
Dope.
cars and just the experience.
Yeah, and then so let's talk about this whole situation when y'all got swatted, right? And I remember when it first happened, and Breeze, he or no, somebody was like, "Yo, like we got swatted." Everybody was like, "Yeah, right." And to me, that was the first time I seen people start getting swatted, and it's still crazy how it still goes now. But like, let's talk about that experience. Were you at the house? Who was at the house? And how did you hear about it? And let's talk about that.
So originally, me, Hank, and Hollywood were actually on a flight to Community Day for 2K20.
Ah,
We were on the
okay,
flight, and
okay.
I didn't buy Wi-Fi on the plane because I'm cheap. So I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm just like, all right, can't. I have no service. And as soon as we land, I see my phone, and I see it's on Twitter. I see it's on the news that the TW house got swatted, and I'm like, bro, this is crazy because it was only T-Jack. T-Jack was there, Breeze, and we had another roommate there that was helping out like on the side stuff with
Mhm.
us, like editing and whatnot. But those three guys were there. And yeah, it was crazy. Like the accusations that someone called the police and said like, I don't want to say it because YouTube
Yeah,
might I don't
some
want to be
wild stuff. Yeah,
monetized.
yeah. But they said,
But
yeah, because that's
they
usually
said
what
some
they say.
crazy
They say
things.
wild stuff. They say wild stuff to make sure that they come geared up, suited up, and with guns ready to do what they have to do. It's terrifying. I feel bad for the guys that were there. Obviously, you were safe, but um, the actual when that went down, and I'm pretty sure that you have conversations going back and forth. What was the ramifications of that? Like, was the individual caught, and then what did the police department and everybody involved, you know what was the ramifications of that?
Yeah, so these guys who do it are smart. They're very smart. They do it off of a VPN, off of Skype. They just do some sneaky stuff. And it's basically impossible to get caught. So it's annoying, but it is what it is. The actual sniper that was there, we saw him he went to the same gym we were going to, and he looked at us. He's like, "You guys look familiar." And he told us what he does for a living. And we were like, "You were there at the house?" He was like, "Yeah, like I was there. I was aiming with a
I
scope at y'all's
God,
house."
that is crazy, man. It's crazy to
Yeah.
think like it takes one little thing. Like they could mistaken, whoever in the house holding a black controller thinking it's some type of a gun or something. It's like it's the craziest thing ever. I don't understand why people do that. We have seen, some ramifications that people losing their lives. Time, back, we saw that happen. It's not cool. And you're right. It's not like you give out. Sometimes you intentionally give information, but other times you can just be in a party chat and somebody could just pull, your IP and then be able to just track it down from there. So that's absolutely crazy. But from going from that point on, then y'all ended up, I think that's 2000. Was it 2000? When did y'all did the whole thing with overtime? When was that?
That was in, I think, late 2019. Something to add real quick though about the house.
Mm-hmm.
How they found out where we were is because we did a full house reveal, showed the front of the house and everything, but also Kodak Black lived there originally in that house and shot music videos.
I remember that.
So people found the address, and that's how they got it. But yeah,
damn,
that's what happened. That's how the guy found it.
Living in the public eye, man, and then you wonder why a lot of creators like to be private with their lives and stuff like that, whatever. Because it's like one, rotten apple spoils it for the bunch. You hear it all the time, and it's Yeah, but I remember that now. Now you say the Kodak Black house.
Yeah.
Because I think, in the video, someone's like, yeah, this used to be Kodak Black's house or something like that when y'all did the whole tour or whatever. But yeah, before we go over to overtime thing, how was it living with that many dudes? You say you went to college for 2 years, so you got a kind of a feeling of being in a dorm environment. How was that whole thing? Because I know we saw the whole little skits and stuff going into overtime. So it was like, okay, right. That was a skits for overtime. But was it like actually pretty dope living with all those guys, or just like, bro, like, yeah, like I can't do this?
Yeah, no. Originally, like I grew up I had two sisters, so I didn't, grow up with any brothers or anything. And we moved in, and I was like, this is cool. We went out a lot. We went out partying, but we were also locked in with content. But it was really cool just to chill out with people, chill out with your friends that you've known online for so long. But we definitely started to understand each other more often. Like, I understand how this guy handles things. This guy doesn't take the trash out.
Yeah.
So
we saw that. We saw those skits with that, and so I guess some of them had some truth behind it. Then, with the whole trash.
Oh, yeah.
I remember some trash. Hollywood's complaining about when he's trying to stream and people are making too much noise. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing even though it was like skits made for the eventual collab with overtime, there was some truth behind all that. Then it was
yeah, for sure.
Come on, like, okay, that's dope. Okay, cool. So then let's talk about the overtime thing. Who ideal was it? And then I guess you can say the initial premise of what y'all were going to do.
Yeah, so I think it was late 2019. The CEO, I forgot his last name, but his first name is Dan. I forgot his last name. He flew out to Miami, and let me take it back. Sorry. There was a guy working there. His name was Chris, and he was actually a part of not overtime. Magic Gaming, the 2K League. He worked for them for a bit, and then I think he got hired by Overtime. And he knew all of us, just content creators. And so he told Dan, the CEO of Overtime, about us. And, Dan wanted to create like a 2K team for Overtime. And Dan flew down to Miami, had lunch with us, and we talked it out. And, he kind of got to know us a little bit, got to know him and figure out what the plan was and what we wanted to do. And yeah, later on, eventually, we just, I'm having a brain fart. Sorry. Later, yeah, that's about it. I mean, we had dinner with him one night, and then later on, we just kind of figured things out. And he was like, let's get a house. So we ended up getting a house together, all of us together. And originally for us, there was misunderstandings between people, but originally for us, we didn't want to stick to doing just 2K content in a really nice house in Miami. Yeah. So we were cool with doing 2K content, but we all had pretty big brands and names at the time where we could expand and do different stuff. And I don't think they just saw it that way, but it just didn't really make much sense. I feel like to move us into a really nice house and not create other type of content other than 2K. But yeah, that's really
were y'all thinking like what AMP is now? Did y'all think that was something y'all was going to be with I mean, God, Overtime has the budget of hell. Like they could do, you could do anything Like the potential, like even now thinking about it with all y'all, it's like, dude, like the potential was absolutely absurd what y'all could do. But we saw the first initial couple videos and we're like, bro, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they doing? I remember I saw the jump when y'all was doing the pool and I was like, I don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure y'all were figuring the same way because I got the vibe that y'all weren't really messing with the creation either. And then it started getting some leaks that, well, y'all not really, y'all don't want to do this, but y'all got to, y'all obligated to contractually, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So originally, that's what we wanted to do is move into IRL content, do stuff like how A&P is doing. And it's funny. We actually flew down to Atlanta and we had a meeting with Davis and Duke about joining overtime back then. Obviously, it wasn't a yes or no answer back then, but we just, we were interested. They were, very entertaining people. They make really good content, and we wanted to bring them on the team. But then, things went south with us, and then they joined A&P. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know that as far as the y'all eventually got out of y'all deals and that type of stuff. But is it true that TW was taken with overtime? Like y'all no longer had that rights to that anymore?
No, it was still. I think the old YouTube channel that they created was still. We were technically still TW. It was Overtime TW. That's what it was called. Overtime TW. That's what it was. So we still had our own brand. It's kind of like how A&P works with Overtime now. They work with them, but they're also like signed as well. But they do their own thing. But yeah, we were still gonna have our own brand name as well.
Yeah. And then last thing about this, why did y'all never just come back together and after the overtime thing, why not just come back and continue TW?
Honestly, I think I was the one that originally kind of just broke the news. Right when I found out overtime ended, I noticed that I had a lot of bad habits around the house. I was making less content. I wasn't streaming as much. And I kind of had to just have a heart to heart with myself and just, all the guys were already planning on moving to a new house. We can bring back TW. And I just know at the time, man, I don't know. I just wanted to go back to my roots. I didn't feel right living in a huge house,
Yeah.
I want to get back to a healthy lifestyle. I was probably drinking a little too much. I was young,
Yeah.
partying a lot, and I just want to go back to my roots, man. So I just told the guys, I was like, hey, I don't know for sure if we're going to continue TW, but I definitely want to separate. I want to move back to Georgia. I miss my family. Like I told you, I'm a very like family person. I love being around my family a lot. So yeah, when the house ended, when overtime ended, I was like, I'm going back. I'm going back to Georgia. I'm going back to where I grew up, and I can focus on my grind there and just lock in on content and be around the ones that I love.
Dope. Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. And as far as the original members and stuff, how's y'all relationships? Is it like straight, or is it kind of like, kind of this, you get older, you kind of grow apart, you got new friends and stuff like that, whatever, or all y'all still kind of communicate?
Yeah, so I still talk to Hollywood a lot. Me and him are still locked in. I talk to Breeze a lot. I talk to Hank every now and then. We don't keep up as much, but I hope everybody is doing well. I wish the best for
Facts.
everyone. T-Jack, I haven't talked to him. Man, it's probably been a year and a half to 2 years now. But I hope he's doing well. Obviously, Dignify is still on YouTube. Dignify never joined Overtime. He was just in TW. But he's doing well, obviously, on YouTube. Congrats to him. But yeah, I mean, I don't really talk to. I mean, I talk to Holly, but it's basically Hollywood, Hank, and Breeze. I keep up with them a lot, though.
That's dope. That's dope. And now let's go to your logo. All right. So you got your logo in 2K21, right?
My first one or what?
Your first one.
My first one, I got it in 2K19. I got the YouTube logo.
There you go. Okay, so I wasn't sure if it was you or Hank. So it was both of y'all got it, or was it you?
Yeah, I think we both had it. I think Hank actually had a face scan. Oh, that was 20.
He did have
Hank got his face scan in 20. Yeah, but yeah,
so
I think we both had logos in 19.
Agent and Davis. I think Agent Davis and Annoying had their face scans in 19. Yep. And I'm gonna tell you what, bro. I thought that was the coolest shit ever, bro. To when I saw them running on the course and had that, and you had your logo too in 19. And now that you're saying that, I remember vividly when I remember seeing you in your park, And I was like, oh shit, Cole's in here, right? So we're all rolling over there, get on the dots. Like I'm a grown ass man running the dots trying to play. So like, it's just crazy to think, bro. It's like I find it funny because as now we're creators and we're like, dude, and we're trying to do something like, dude, everybody got the dots. It's crazy. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, nah, when I saw logos too, my grown ass was still running, trying to jump on the
Yeah.
dots to play them and try to beat the creators. Tell me your experience. Like, how was that being able to be a part of that first fraternity of people to get YouTube logos on the top of their head? Like, tell me the whole process of getting that logo at that time. Was it through Ronnie? Like, who he reached out to you? Like, how did that all happen?
Yeah, so originally I saw Davis get a logo and I thought it was so cool. I was like, bro, congrats. That's cool. I think 2K just hooked him up with one. I think Agent had one early on, maybe Troy Dan. And when I saw Davis get it, I was like, dude, I want one so bad. Back then they were like really, really rare to get. So I was like, I probably won't get one. Like Davis, he was miles ahead of me. And I was like, I don't know. I probably won't be able to get one. Then Ronnie followed me back on Twitter. This was like early when 2K dropped. I think this might have been in like October of like 2018. Ronnie followed me, and then like a day later, I just sent him like literally a screenshot of like the YouTube logo and was like, maybe I could get one of these one day. And he was like, oh, for sure, and something even better as well. I was like, oh, cool. And then like a week later, I woke up and saw that I had a logo, and I thought it was so cool. The YouTube logos were fire, bro. Even the Twitch logos as well. They were so fire.
Yes. Because like, and again, man, I really wish those are like still the thing to this day. I don't know if it's probably rights and stuff to be able to use their stuff, but to see Annoying's Twitch logo was crazy because remember Annoying had that Red City Boy. He had it. I think there were only two that had it, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Maybe
I feel like Sin might have had it. Poor Boy Sin might have had a Twitch logo.
He
back
had a
then.
Twitch. I think he had a YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
he might have had a YouTube. He might have had a YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he was doing more YouTube. I'm not sure, but regardless, they had him. They were absolutely insane. They were dope. So you got your YouTube logo. You know what I'm saying? You're riding high, and then 2K20 comes. 2K20 to me was like, I think everybody got growth. I'm not sure how many subs you got during that time frame, but everybody ate in 20 because of obvious reasons, the pandemic. Everybody was home watching TV, all that type of deal. Tell me how it was. I call that the golden era of outside of that, not being insensitive, but for creators, to Netflix, anybody that involves being at the house, they ate, right?
Yep.
Explain that time of being in the house, not being able to do anything, but being able to get on there and then see your numbers just absolutely are insane.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Right when 2K20 dropped, obviously the views are good. And then I noticed around like October, November, it's starting to drop a little bit for me. I'm getting like, 50, 60, 70,000 views. And at the time, like I'm happy with that now. But like back then I was like, dude, this is terrible. It's not good for me. And that's right when I moved back to Georgia is when COVID started. I didn't even get to view my apartment or anything. I just moved in hoping that it was a good apartment. So I moved in, and within a week of posting, I just saw my views just start to rise. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. And in terms of lifestyle, nothing changed. I'm a homebody, especially back then. Like we couldn't go out. So, everyone was complaining. They were like, oh man, I can't go out with my friends. I can't go to school, see my friends. I can, et cetera. And I'm just like, dude, I'm literally living the same exact lifestyle right now.
Yeah.
And just the views are through the roof. So it was awesome, man. Back then, my editor, his name was Strive. He actually edits for Nasher now. He posts like NHL videos. Yeah, so me and him were really locked in. We were both on a good schedule. I was creating content. I was posting probably like I think when COVID started in March, April, I might have posted like 22 or 23 videos. Every video I probably was averaging like 200, 300, 400,000 views a video. And, I saw that. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this is literally insane. So I can say I definitely took advantage of it. With everybody being home, everybody wanting to watch videos. But yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy time. And I will say for content, that was definitely the golden era for sure.
Damn Skippy, bro, because from that point on, every creator, like that was the pinnacle. And then from that point on, every single year, it just felt
Hmm.
like it was just getting harder and harder. Um, so then let's just talk. Let's say this then. From 2K20, the expectation, I'm pretty sure for yourself going in 21, the same expectation is like, yo, we've been killing it. You know, this everything's starting to open up a little bit, but nah, in our heads, we're like, 20 was killing it. We're doing great. 21 comes out, and it's just like ain't nothing really happened. It's like we're kind of spinning in the mud right now, right? And a lot of creators started leaving. Um,
Hmm.
and at that point in time, is that when you started? No, you didn't start thinking about doing something different, right? As far as like, is that when you started your your golfing channel?
I think I started that in 2022. I think.
22. So that was a year. So I'm still going by. What was your thought process then from in 2K21? Seeing that grind and what it takes, and then also you didn't get a logo in 20, right?
I got one in 19,
Okay.
20, and 21. And
Okay.
22. I think.
Okay, so you got them all. Okay, all 4 years. Okay, so you did get those. So what is your mindset then going into 21, knowing what you did in 20, and then the reality of what the numbers were showing then?
Yeah. So a lot of people like forget 21 was actually, I think it was a solid year for content. Um when the game dropped, we had two 2K releases that year, current gen and next
Mm-hmm.
gen. So current gen release went very well. I feel like a lot of people enjoyed it. And then when I think 2K21 next gen came out in November, I think it came around November. That game was really just kind of disappointing. Based on what next gen was supposed to be. I think
Yeah.
there was just too much going on in that game. I don't. I think I feel like the devs were a little bit rushed. The builder was a little bit. It was all right. The
Broken.
builder wasn't too good. I mean, there were power forward builds
Six
that
eight
had, yeah,
demigods.
like 6'7", 6'8" power forward builds that had better playmaking badges than like 6'3" point guards. I just felt like the game was a little rushed. I felt like they didn't have enough
Mm-hmm.
time to create the game. But 2K21 in terms of content, I feel like it was a pretty underrated year in my opinion. I think
Okay.
current gen definitely was the move because I originally was posting current gen when it dropped. Then next gen came out, and I noticed like 2 months into that, nobody was watching it, and I soon, like really early, learned on if people don't have the game, they really don't want to watch it, which is crazy to me because back in like 2K14 when I didn't have a PS4, I was still watching next gen videos. I was watching because I wanted to
Exactly.
see it. I couldn't play it. I couldn't get my hands on it.
Yeah.
So, but I guess the generation, people change. People don't want to watch something that they don't have. So I
Yeah.
learned early on. I was like, man, this is crazy. A next gen 2K is not the move. I have to go back to PS4, go back to current gen, and I started to post, those 2K20 type videos in 2K21. And the numbers were still really good back then. I was still pulling
Mm-hmm.
really good numbers, doing lots of creative content. 21, in my opinion, was it's crazy. 21 was one of my favorite years for creating content.
That's
21
dope.
current gen. Yeah, it was
That's
really
dope.
fun. I had a lot of
Now,
fun. I met a lot of new people, and it was really fun.
I know that for me, I did the route of this, and now tell me this is what you did. I was playing next gen, but uploading current gen stuff. Is that what you did too,
Yeah,
or
so
were
I
you
had
playing current gen?
so I was playing. I actually had a Facebook contract, and so I was so deep in on next gen, like the rep. I was like Legend 4 or something or whatever it was, Superstar 4.
Yeah,
So I just kept playing it. I was like, I might as well put in these hours. But for YouTube videos, I was creating content based on current gen.
yeah, and that was absolutely exhausting. And that's when the creators, I felt like we kind of started this movement of get a next gen console, bro. Like,
Yes.
and then it was a back and forth about like, oh man, current gen. I think it for the next 3 years, it was what was better, current gen or next gen. I felt like the
Yes.
creators it was kind of like, bro, like, come on, bro, like, come on, like, next gen is better. Next gen is better. Just stop saying current gen is better. Like, get on it. Like, stop doing this because it was just a mix of emotions about trying to get off of trying to upload two games,
Yep.
to please your people. And then the comment sections, you upload a next gen video. Oh, I'm not watching this, man. I got a PS4 or da da da. Then you
Yep.
put you do a current gen video. Why are you uploading old stuff? It was
Yeah.
kind of like that back and forth. What side did you stand on that?
Dude, it flip flopped for me throughout the years.
Okay.
2K. I feel like back then it's just like watch what you want to watch. I think for 21, obviously the current gen was the move. People wanted to watch
Mm-hmm.
that more. Statistically, I saw it on my channel. 22 literally was preference. I went back and forth throughout the year. I was playing. Me and Tough were playing twos current gen for 2 months, and then we're like, look, we need to go to next gen because it's next gen. Tried it out for 3 months. We got bored. Went back to current for a couple months. So I went back and forth. 23, I was mainly on. I think half of the year I was on next, and then I moved to current the rest of
Oh,
23.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh man.
but 24 strictly next. I haven't even tried out current gen. I'm not gonna, but
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I've been going 2 years now. I've been doing nothing but next gen type content, whatever. And it's funny that you brought up Tough because Tough has been somebody that you've been running with for a while. He's been your center. And I feel like as a content creator, it's difficult to bring somebody on into our world because you act like, yo, are they just really here for clout? Are they genuinely, my friend? Because let's keep it a stack. We've dealt with a lot of people that came into our circle, try to get a little bit of clout, and then bounce or act different, and they get 10,000 subs now. Now they're big time, so now they don't, they
Hmm.
don't want to deal. So you hit them up to play, and now all of a sudden they can't play. What made Tough stick around? You've been with Tough for so long, and you pushed so hard for him. You got him a logo and everything too. So, like with that relationship with Tough.
Yeah, Tough's just genuinely just good person. He's a good friend. Outside of this 2K stuff, we exchanged numbers. We talk about whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've known Tough. I met him through Hollywood's chat back in like 2K20. He just wanted to play rec with Hollywood back in I think
Hmm.
2K20 or 2K21 next gen. And then I noticed he was good. I needed more people to play with on next gen, so we added each other, started playing more. And then just over the years, just playing together, we just got more and more close. But yeah, Tough's a cool person. He's a really cool
Yeah.
person. I'm glad I can genuinely call him my friend. It's cool. It's cool to. I got to meet him in person for Community Day back in New York a few months ago.
Yep.
Well, that's almost
In
a
New York.
year ago,
Yep.
actually. Wow, that's a long time ago.
Exactly. Ain't it crazy? It's crazy how
Yeah,
like time
but
flies,
yeah,
man.
but yeah, Tough's a good person. I'm glad to call him my friend. It's
Yeah.
been a cool journey with him.
Exactly. I met Tough, believe it or not, through you. So
Hmm.
I met Tough through you, and then anytime he hits me up because he's all in the wreck now, that. So
Yeah, he's a
he
wreck
hits me
head.
up. Yeah. And it's funny too because it's like and that is funny because like you look at La Monster, and if people don't know, La Monster used to sit corner for Hank.
Hmm.
And now La Monster is one of the like is a guard, and he's strictly guard. And then obviously Tough, he set corner for you. And now Tough, he really runs he runs guard now. Actually, he's versatile. He can run a
He
lot,
can
but
play
he's a
whatever.
guard.
That's why I like running
Yeah,
with him. He can play lock,
he's
popper, guard. He's good.
he's a dog. So it's just it's dope to see like the versatility of what he's done. Let's talk about these community days. Your first community day was 2K18, correct?
I think it was 2K20. What Community Day was the
2K20.
first?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, duh. 2K20. And that's the one with like annoying and all that type stuff went, right?
Yep. I think it was out in
Perfect.
Cali. It was out in California.
Yeah. Out of California. Let's talk about that community day experience. You getting invited, because obviously we know previously there was community days been going on for previous years before that. Did you feel like, damn, like how come I haven't gotten invited? Was you hitting up Ronnie? What was the reasons for not getting invited, and then finally getting invited?
Yeah, I just felt like I was a smaller creator. That's why I wasn't getting invited. I wasn't gonna DM anybody or ask. I just felt like I felt like I deserved to be there. So I was just kind of waiting on the invite. But it was
Mhm.
cool, man. I got to meet a lot of people, man. People I grew up watching. I walked in the hotel lobby and I saw Shakedown, and I didn't know if he knew who I was or anything. But he came up to me and was like, "ColetheMan." I was like, "Shakedown!" Like I heard his voice, and I'm like, "Bro, am I in a YouTube video right now?" Um,
Yeah,
but it was so cool hearing his voice, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you're a dribble god. I watched a lot of your 18 videos." I was like, "Dude, this is crazy." Hearing someone I grew up
yeah.
watching, saying that about me. But it was really cool, man. I met a lot of creators that I grew up watching. A lot of people that were kind of started grinding at the same time I did.
Hmm.
Sin. Uh, Obviously, I've met Davis before that, but got to see
Hmm.
Davis there. I got to meet Flight.
Oh, okay.
Mopey. I saw LSK. Who else was there? That was so many years ago. Um, Red City Boy. There's a lot of people I met.
Yeah, Red.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool. It was my first time meeting like a lot of the 2K creators in person, so it was a cool experience.
Yeah, man, because back then I feel like 2K20 was like listen, bro, you had to be the elite of the elite. Like 2K20 for me is when I first was my blow up. So that's when I got like 50,000 subs and that
Hmm.
type of deal and started getting a name for myself. And the list of people that went to 2K20's community day, I felt like that was the last of the rare logos and the rare, A-listers only going to get invited.
Yeah.
Now we're in a whole different bracket, as you can say. And so let's talk about that. I know a lot of the OGs, right? And you're definitely one of the OGs, even though you're still pretty damn young. But you started young as hell, which is crazy. I wish I started as young as you. That would be crazy. But what is your take? What is your take? I talked to, I can say, but the podcast will already be out now, so people know. Badge Plug was saying that it should, be the elites of the elites. Like, you shouldn't be having just anybody come in, that type of deal. Same thing, Bullet, he said the same thing. What is your take on that? Do you think the route that's going down, as far as like having so many people there that no one even knows, or should it go back to like, hey man, you got to work your way up, pull your bootstraps up. If you want a logo, this is what you need to do. If you want to go to community day, you have to earn those. Show me what you've done to earn your stripes. Which direction do you think it should be?
So I'm down for new people having new opportunities for sure. I think that's important in life. But I think there's a certain amount of spots for community day. Uh, I think people who have a big influence on the game should have priority to
Mm-hmm.
go to get
Mm-hmm.
feedback. More and more people will find out more about the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with, and it's I don't think it should be technically all about numbers 24/7. If they want to make a separate like community day, maybe like the next weekend or maybe the day after or day before or something, more and more people can come. I don't even think it should just be based on cloud either. I think they should have it separate for, which I think they are doing now, but like 2K League
Mm-hmm.
pros, the sweaty sweats in the stage have their own day to come.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think if there's a limited amount of people that can come, I would definitely prioritize the people that uh, put out consistent content, put
Yeah.
out the product, and are
Yeah.
passionate about it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the argument is that if you're having these creators come for a community day, to push out content, um, it's almost like free marketing for 2K. But if if little Timmy only has 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, how much his value is he or she really bringing back, to the community? That's the argument that you're going to get from
Yeah.
a lot of people on the outside looking in. It's like, I don't know these people. I'm not watching their video. But of course, if ColetheMan, Joe Knows, or Uncle Demi, they were dropping build videos on release, of course, they're all going to flocking to that. You know what I mean? Because there's a name behind that's going to get people to view it. So, I see it. And then also, again, I see it as far as like, hell, at the end of the day, obviously I wasn't invited to community day until I felt like I was more recognized, but I got a logo before, anybody really truly knew who I was. I was just kind of like, just like the build guy.
Hmm.
Um, and, I felt like that logo did uplift me. So I think that, if you had, I kind of come from the school of, no, I think when I got a logo, I only had like 100,000 subs. And that's funny because when I was talking to Duke would be like, yo, Demi, man, I had to hit 400K, man, to get my logo. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
Duke was
saying?
one of the later ones to get it.
Yeah, bro, I felt, when he told me, I was like, dude, man, I don't know why it took you that long to get yours, bro, to get your logo, man. So I know Duke has always been adamant about that. Like every time I see him, that's one of the first things. If we talk about that stuff, he always bring up the fact he had to hit 400K to get
Hmm.
his, what I'm saying? And other people, had like 20,000 subs and, they getting a logo and stuff like that. So I can see both sides of that. But
Yeah.
let's go ahead.
Can I add to that a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. Add to
Oh
it.
yeah, I was just gonna say, and that's no disrespect to anyone who has like lower sub count or any of that. I just think it strictly should be really about influence. And when I say that, doesn't mean I'm better than anybody else, because I'm not. It's just strictly about influence. Like you were mentioning, I didn't get invited to 2K17, 2K18, 2K19 community days. And I understood. I felt like maybe I didn't have that big of an influence as like, Annoying did back then, or whoever, was above me back then, in terms of influence and whatnot. And I understood, and I didn't feel like butthurt about it or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just more about understanding. And I think if they want to have a separate day where they invite other people out, feel free to do it. I think they should.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. Let's talk about right now the state of 2K. So like 2K right now has been not in a good light. Hasn't been in a good light. And I feel like, a lot of creators have been speaking out, on Twitter and stuff like that, whatever. And of course, I see your tweets and your venture frustrations, or your streams, your venture frustrations. It's such a broad question, so we're kind of break it down. All right, we'll
Yeah.
try to chop it up real quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about the what a lot of people are mad about right now is just the microtransactions, the cost of just playing the actual game. Now we know what, when back in the day you could, get on the gameplay and do what you got to do. Now it feels like the microtransactions have basically taken over, and this makes it extremely expensive to play. What is your take right now on that aspect of the microtransactions?
So from a content creator's perspective, I benefit from paying to get VC. Obviously, it's going to be a write-off for me and whatnot. I got to make builds, make videos, which makes me money, etc. But from a personal experience on 2K, yeah, from a customer perspective, I should say, yeah, it's expensive. If I was just someone that got on 2K and was like, wow, I got to spend like $100 for a build, I would definitely, I wouldn't spend as much as I usually did. I remember back in 2K14, builds were $20, $25 to max out. So it's definitely not enjoyable, obviously, for the consumer, because you have to spend more money. But the way I look at it is, it's not really. I don't think it's a really important subject, because 2K is not going to limit. They're not going to go back to their old ways if they're creating. If they're making more money from it, more revenue from it. It's kind of just
exactly.
It just is what it is. Obviously, I don't think build should cost that much, unless maybe the game is free. I think that would be cool. If the game was free, I feel like more people would download it, give it a shot, buy VC to make a build if they want to do that. In my opinion, I think that they might be able to even make more money if they made the game free, similar to Fortnite. I think the game should be free if you're gonna, charge $100 per build. I think that could benefit them as well. But it is what it is. I don't think things are going to change whether we like it or not. It's just the way it goes as a business, and I can't change the fact that they're going to charge that. So
yeah. The city game, like this, the city in general. Are you a fan of the city, or do you think it should be back to where it was? Hey, we get on the game, we load up, we play. Do you see the benefits of the city?
So I just think in terms of even like 2K24, how do I explain this? I think they're almost listening to too many people and trying to please both sides. Not trying to get off subject, but with gameplay as well, or the city. I just think like either they're constantly talking about realism and like what they want. Obviously, it's a sim, it's a sim game. That's what they go for. Yep. And it's just like, I think like the city this year, I think 2K24 was a year where they had a good goal, but they just didn't execute it the right way. I think it was cool when I saw, oh, it's a beachfront city. This is fire. Mm-hmm. This is so cool, right? I just don't think they executed it the right way. Why not have some like courts on the beach? I know they do now, but it's not an affiliation park like on the beach. But why not have like the courts, a few courts on the beach, sunset in the back? They could have that. But like I said, they're stuck between like people.
It's difficult.
Yeah, right. Like they want to go down the realistic route with having like, oh, it's the theater. Okay, we're in the theater. We have 4 different matchmaking modes. We got to stay in the same setting, the same scenery, because we're in the theater. We can't go anywhere else. But then on the other side of the park, there's like a floating spaceship, right?
Yeah.
The elite park. So it's
Yeah.
like I feel like they're kind of stuck in between. I feel like they definitely need to head down a different route in terms of the city. I'm cool with the city. That's if they're gonna do that, there's a way to execute it. I've been thinking of this. I think from the I feel like there should be way more. Well, there actually is a lot of matchmaking modes, but I think it just needs to be more lit. I think the scenery is just not it in the park. There's a lot of shadows. They try to go for a realistic, park. Go back to the OG, like I'm not saying I want to see the old parks, but go back to that realistic basketball vibe at a park. Like I don't really care about too much designs all over the court. If you're going for a realistic game, I want to see some like realistic park environments,
Yeah.
That's what I want to see out of 2K. And I know they can do it because they've done it in the past. So
Yeah, exactly. I think because like NBA Live, that's 19. I feel like what was really dope about them was that you could go to Rutgers Park, you could go to all these different parks and stuff. Remember, they didn't have a city. You just loaded up and you played, and you can play in these beautiful parks and settings and stuff. And again, I'm just talking because I just know what I would want. I don't know what it will cost for the rights and licensing and all this stuff. But to me, I feel like a lot of people now, and correct me if I'm wrong, play a lot of rec. Right? There's a lot of rec being played, and then there's a lot of theater for like the 1v1 and that type of deal, right? And I'll stop there. I'll get my opinion after. Why do you think a lot of people are just playing in the rec and playing the 1v1 and just completely abandoning the park?
Park is simple. Park is just an outdated mode. It's outdated. They started it in 2K14. It's been 10 years. It's cool. Obviously, the concept is cool. You load up into a park. You walk around, you get on dots. It's cool. I just don't think it's just really impactful anymore. I think people would rather just load up into a quick game. That's me personally. That's what I do this year in 24. I don't. I don't play any modes if it's not matchmaking. I only play theater. I play rec, pro-am. I'm not in the park waiting around. So yeah, I think in 25, man, it would be so cool. Instead of the theater, have it where, I don't know, you walk up to a plane and you call it the 2K tour, and you click X at the plane, and the loading screen, your mod players is sitting, first class, just like sitting around. And then there's 40 different matchmaking locations, and you'll never get tired of them because there's so many different ones. I think if honestly, if 25, I know it's not going to be the case, but if 2K25 was full on matchmaking, I'd love it. I wouldn't even complain. If there was no park, no city, I'd be cool with it.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm the same way. I'll be the same way too if it just load up and we could play. Let's talk about the events. You think they hit on the events this year, or do you think the events just once again kind of like just not to where you're liking, or was it the cheaters that took away the fun because you knew you couldn't win anyway because of cheating?
Yeah.
Maybe that's two
Basically, oh no, you're fine. Yeah. The events this year, there were some dope ones. I liked I forgot it was originally right when the game dropped, maybe one in like October. It was the one where like you were like underneath the water. Forgot what it was called.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember what it's called either. But I know was that like Poseidon or something like that?
Yes, Poseidon's Reef or something like that.
That
one was cool. I like the Rumble on the K. That was a good one. I like all of the ones that have different environments. I was just talking about environments. Just having different ones is really cool. The new signature event center is cool. So, having different events is cool. I just think that they don't drop consistent enough. I think they need more. Just every weekend, maybe every other weekend, have something. It's too rare. The rewards are really cool. I really like unlimited this, unlimited that. But obviously, the cheaters right now are ruining the game. You can't even compete. It's whenever I try to compete, I'm always in like 15th, 16th playing legit. But
how demoralizing is that? Think about it. You're a competitor. You this is like be a kick-ass YouTube video of you winning. Remember, that used to be the thing for us. 2K20, like, because we used to win some stuff. That video that you upload is going to like, you're gonna, like, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Now it's like, bruh, we're not gonna win against the cheaters.
Yeah. So I basically had that mindset going into it. Every time there's an event, I'm like, well, I'm probably not gonna win this unless I play with a cheater, and I'm just not gonna do it. But yeah, man, I just look at it like content. I know I'm not going to win the event. I just look at it just to have fun. There's a new park, new like a new scenery. I just look forward to that and streaming it. That's mainly what I look forward to for events, just streaming it and having my viewers enjoy watching it. So that's basically
Yeah,
all I look forward to in these
yeah,
events.
yeah. Um, how often do you feel like when you're playing, that you're going against people that are using the Titan and stuff like in your 1v1s and stuff like that, whatever? I mean, I've seen some of the clips and stuff like that, whatever. How frustrating is that? And what do you think 2K should do? I mean, obviously, okay, I don't know if you know the background, but it's like, obviously 2K cannot do anything to the console, right? Obviously, that's Sony,
Yeah.
Microsoft. They have to do that. Sony did get rid of the Zen, but
Hmm.
then the some other company came out with like a little dongle, and then now people use that in the Titan. Um, it's always like no matter what 2K did, because again, what 2K did this year was give us like 1,000 shot timings, right?
Hmm.
A thousand different shot timings, and then it worked initially. He was like, hell yeah, cheaters can't cheat now, like you know what I mean? Because your Zen can only work for just one shot timing, right? You have to be a spot up. Then the Titan came out, and then when the Titan came out, the cheaters can hit every single shot, and then now we have to skill gap 1,000 different shots timings, right?
Yep.
Um, what's your take on that?
So it's crazy. There is something else other than the Titan that I've known about since the end of 23. It's a whole process. It's a whole process. You have to
Yeah.
buy uh like this Ethernet cable. You got to buy all this stuff. You
Oh
got to
yeah, yeah,
join.
yeah. I know you're talking
You
about.
got
Yeah,
to
yeah. I know you're talking about.
you
Yep,
got to join Discords. You got to buy monthly subscriptions. All this
yep.
stuff just to green. And obviously in 2K24, there's a pure green window, like Mike Wang said. So it's literally impossible to stop these cheaters as of right now. Uh, and I definitely would like to talk to someone, at 2K about this because I've known about it since the end of 23 before everyone knew about it.
Hmm.
And so basically, if you see anybody using a meter, playing competitive, they're cheating. They're cheating for sure.
Yeah,
So, but I think the only way to try to minimize this next year is 2K has to take out meter on all online modes. They have to. If they don't
yeah,
turn the meter off, then the same thing will continue to happen.
yeah.
Obviously, like you said, there's different timings, different jump shot timings, and with people can use like no meter scripts, but they're not as consistent as the one there is like that they have right now. And
Correct,
this one right now is like
correct.
literally impossible to stop. You can't stop it.
Oh yeah, I done seen some stuff. Like people have given me stuff. Like it's funny how people that got kicked out of that Discord just start turning on each other. And I got so
Hmm.
many DMs of like, look, this person cheating, this person cheating, this person cheating. This is like, so they'll like just start telling each other. And it to me it blew my mind to see the lengths that these individuals will go to cheat, right?
Yeah.
And we could be here all day talking about it. I think the community knows. I know 2K knows. Fingers crossed, preferably that something comes out 25 to where it takes that away, so we can go back to the times of if I beat you it's because of skill, and
Yeah.
I can win an event and not have to worry about of course they're going to win because they can hit every single shot from other side of the court, you know. So let's move on to the next thing. So let's talk about this pro pass, right? So the pro pass, I know I got cooked for it when I was like, oh, this is really dope, and I can hit 40 in one day. I have to deal with all the other stuff. Um, what was your take for the implementing the pro pass and how they did it this year? Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think it's just kind of like okay, like we're just going farther and farther away from the game?
Um, haven't really even thought about that. I bought it obviously when the game dropped for the first time. I haven't bought it since then because
Mm,
I just obviously play the game, streaming it. So I'm going to hit level 40 regardless. Uh, I just think if you're interested in those cosmetic rewards, if you're a fan of that, then go for it. But I'm really not a big fan of those cosmetic rewards anymore. I'm more of a
yeah,
gameplay guy, gameplay rewards. But the level 40 system, a lot of people complain about it 24/7, but it's like 2K did give us a rep system this year, which they could improve on. But I just think all the cosmetic stuff for people who can't play the game a lot, sure, go for it. Have level 40 every year. That's cool. But the pro
yeah,
pass, I mean, that's obviously for me and you, we both know about business and what companies do, and obviously it's another way to make some more revenue. And I mean, Yeah, I think as long as it doesn't give an advantage where you have to pay for it, I think it's cool if people
Well,
want to
that's what
pay
they
for
did
that.
this past season. That's what it is now. So
I
now,
did
in
see
order to
that.
get
I
that
did see
right
the
sleeve, you get a +1 on the 3 ball, and that was something that was stated in the beginning that it was not going to happen, and it
hmm
has happened. So we know, like in that My Team podcast I dropped, my team is getting so much pay to play, type stuff.
Yeah.
2K finally on the park side finally added a pay to play with an arm sleeve. And it's like I said, it's like a slippery slope there. There's so much you can do to squeeze money out of us, because $10 here, of course, I'm, not when I saw that was for a +1 3 ball, so I can have a one. Now I got a right one too, so I get a +2 now. To me, that's like, oh yeah, well, I might as well, because who doesn't want to keep on having the 3 ball, boosted? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they did finally add that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, you did speak on the fact of rep, and also about this it's a two-part question again, but what do you feel about the rep this year, like for Legend Reward only being to the top 10 players, and then only the top 10 players you can lose it? That means you have to continue to play. Did that demotivate you, or did you still was like, I'm gonna still play? How did you feel about that? Not everybody being able to just hit, like, let's say for instance, like starter 3 and then you're a legend now.
Yep.
I'm sorry, vet 3 and you're a legend, or vet 4 you're a legend. Now it's just you hit vet 3, that's it, and then only 10 people can have the legend perks.
Yeah. So I think the idea is there. Like I said, I feel like 2K had the right idea, but they just didn't execute this year. Level 40, like I said, that should just be strictly cosmetic. People complain about it all the time. And I'm just like, dude, there's literally a rep system. Like, if people want to get all the cosmetic stuff, let them. Like, why? I'm not going to complain about it. Put more robots in the game for level 40. I don't care. But strictly for rep this year, they had the right idea. They didn't execute, in my opinion. I just think if I'm going to put in, I put in about 1,700 hours on stream this year to hit vet 3. I just hit it like last week. And we get +2 shooting, like 100K VC, and like 99 Gatorade boost and skill boost. I just think like that's like a slap in the face. It's like, dude, I just put in all these hours. Why not give me? I'm not saying like a million. Give me 500K VC for a build, right? Give me 500K VC. Give me unlimited skill boost in all categories, all Gatorade
Mhm.
boost. Right now, I'm ranked like 400 in the world, so there's only like 300 plus people who have that bet 3 level as well. So it's like there's not many people who have this. They just put in all this work. You have to give them a gameplay reward advantage. That's what you have to
Yep.
give them. There has to be a reason to grind, right? And
Mhm.
not even talking about top 10, just vet 3. You get +2 skill boost for no, my bad, +2 shooting attributes. So what is it? Like 92 3-pointer, you get silver limitless range this year. If I
Yeah.
have a
Yep.
build with a 90 3-pointer and I hit vet 3, not only should it go up to 92, I should also unlock badges for that. You should unlock badges. You should unlock jump shot animations or whatever.
Mhm.
I just think you should have a gameplay advantage against those who don't play the game as much as you. You put in the work. You put in the work. You got a
Yeah.
lot of dubs. You can't lose like constantly and hit vet 3. You have to win. You have
Yeah.
to get a lot of rep to hit that. So I just think the gameplay rewards this year for the rep just weren't it. Like, and
Yeah.
it's crazy for people who are top 10 because they get +5 attributes in every area. But guess what? You don't unlock badges with those.
Unlock
How?
no badges
You
with
have
their
to.
or
They
animations.
have to. Yeah, it literally. It's all animations. There's really nothing else. Like they ought to have unlimited everything, unlimited jump shot boost, everything, all skill boost, all
Yeah.
Gatorade boost. And you just, like I said, you just got to make it worth
No,
grinding
I,
for.
I agree, man. Because you think back to 2K18, 2K19, 2K20, no one complained about the Legend Awards because they
Mm-mm.
gave you so many badges. First of all, anybody you hit it, you can do it. But just remember in 2K20, bro, like remember all of our builds, how crazy good they got because we got additional 10 badges in each category,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, I
Um,
spent $1,000 to get a legend account in 20 to make content on it.
yeah. Yeah,
It
I'm
was
telling
worth
you, it
it. It
was
was worth
that
it.
legit. It was 100% worth it. And you're right, 17 plus hours. I mean, 17,000 hours, 1,700 hours. You would expect to, be able to hit legend, be able to unlock animations, be able to unlock the badges. Preferably that happens in 25, and also it's not just 10 people. you
Yeah.
know, that is the like 0.00001% of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 people in the whole entire world can even hold that. So we're definitely on the same page with that. I didn't hit legend. I didn't even go for legend because once I saw only 10 people can hit it, I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. No.
I'm not doing that. I'll just like get asked for somebody's account and just use it, if I want to do
Yeah.
content. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be, to me, that's what I want to grind for is, to be able to do that. I got like a couple more questions before I get you out of here, but I think this is huge. The 2K League, okay? You're a really, really good player. You play Pro Am. What is your take on, the 2K League as far as, you know, potentially using creators as far as backing that league? Because right now they're struggling mightily. If let's say for instance like Lakers Gaming wanted you to come on as as a guard, what would it take for them to get you, and would you be interested?
Um, I'm a very competitive player. I would nowadays just call myself a competitive casual. Uh, Man, at the end of the day, man, it's all about the paycheck, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm not really, I'm not sure how much 2K League players make.
30,000.
But yeah, in 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't, but I mean, it'd be cool to make content with the players, with whoever.
Mhm.
Maybe go out there, and if they do like, if they ever do any like cool content where they bring out like a creator and let them run guard,
Mhm.
for the team against another team that has a creator on their team, just for content or
Mhm.
whatnot. That'd be cool. I'd definitely be into something like that for sure. But
Yeah,
the
because I
2K League is entertaining. I'll watch it every now and then. I'll see Iggy Mo and Two Tac, all them ball out.
Yep.
But yeah, it's cool. I love 5v5 gameplay. I think it's the most skilled and the most fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And then you hit it right on the head. Iggy Mo is, the big creator that's over there in the league now. And I feel like a
Hmm.
lot of people watch him, Bear the Beast, Fanta, are, they're just lacking creators. And every single person I get on here, like I just spoke to Bullet TV, Bash Plug, all these guys that are extremely talented, trying to figure out how, our professionals, which in my opinion, if you look at Apex, Call of Duty, and all these others, the pro players are the big creators,
Yep.
right? When you look at all these events, you're a big creator. You're technically a pro. You just put 1,700 hours in the damn game, right? You know this game front and back. You're good at the game. Um, you should be some of the first people that the 2K League wants in a very young league where people just aren't watching the games. Like they're not watching them because the fact is that listen, if ColetheMan, Joe Knows, and Hank and LaMonster and all that shit is playing in the 2K League, you best believe people are watching that shit. Like
Yeah.
you hit it around the head about the 30,000. It's not enough. And every single creator says that. So, and we talked to Bear the Beast, which of course that comes out. That'll be 3 weeks from now when this comes out. But Bear the Beast speaks on that too passionately about we need these creators to come on board because the players that they have in the league right now, they might be good, but no one knows them. Like they're not
Yep.
drawing eyes to the screens. You know what I'm saying? So, a ColetheMan, if the price is right, you're saying like, hey, I'll come on board.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I just think the 2K League, there's a lot of areas they could definitely improve on. I personally think that, like I said, like you were mentioning, these big streamers, Iggy Mo, like Bear the Beast, like all these guys, like in my opinion, I think they should be able to stream in game, like stream at the tournaments. Have it set up to
Mhm.
where they're at a desk, they're streaming, so you can watch from multiple perspectives if you want. If you want to go back and forth, I don't mind listening to the commentators. I love Dirk, that's my guy. Um,
Yeah.
but I like hearing the players. I like hearing the players talk and communicate. When we're
Hmm.
watching, pro am leagues and whatnot. That's when you hear Joe or you hear Bauer or anybody else playing, you want to hear it in game. That's really what I want to hear, and I feel like they
Yeah.
could. I don't know. I just think the creators in there should be able to stream from their own perspective, and I feel like that could
Yep.
grow the 2K League. I'm not saying tremendously, but I think it would help out a lot.
No, you're right. I hit it right. That's right on the head because then if you, like I said, that will have to be something packaged by the 2K League, and hopefully, like I said, that can happen because I want, obviously, I'm connected with the Mavs Gaming.
Mhm.
I want to see the league flourish, but we're just seeing that the numbers ain't numbering because all of our big creators. Joe knows right now is like the big pro am player, and it's like he draws way much more numbers in the 2K league. But
Yeah.
it's like, yo, like you want this guy, you got to get him. You got to pay this man what it takes to get that. Let him stream on his. Let him stream on his own Twitch. Let him get all that revenue and everything like that from his own streaming Twitch. But find a way to make it happen because at the end of the day, I feel like if there's going to be a pro league, our pro league needs to be our big creators. Like that's in my humble opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
all y'all should be in there playing, representing 2K League. It's almost like y'all got to be like the dream team, man. And just put y'all all over. So, like the numbers will go up because when they did the amateur 3v3 and stuff like that, did you try to qualify for that Coinbase?
No, I didn't. 2K22. I tried to qualify, made it like the semifinals, but I lost to Elite.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. But yeah, no, I didn't try it this year.
You didn't try this year, and would that be something that you would try again next year, or is it just kind of like you're just done with trying to do that stuff, or would you be back interested?
I'll probably get back into it next year, try to compete a little bit. This year, obviously, I just had my son like 7-8 months ago, so I've been busy with dad life. But yeah, definitely want to get back into it for sure.
Definitely, and like I said, let's talk about that. We're going into now. We're leaving the 2K realm, and we're going back to the IRL life of Cole, the man. Let's talk about this fascination with the Asian women. Like first you had these always, you used to always have this state. Shout out to all my beautiful Asian women out there, and you said raise your eyebrows. You know what I mean? Where did this all stem from? Like, how old were you when you realized, like, you know what? Like, I don't like black women, I don't like white women, but I love the way these Asian women. Where did this come from?
Back in the day, listen, all women, okay, all women. I don't discriminate, okay. So back in the day, obviously this is before my wife, but yeah, no, like I just grew up in South Georgia, mainly just white girls.
Yeah.
And but yeah, then like in like 2018 I started to like travel a little bit, and then just I don't know how to explain it. Some people have a type. I found out my type. So
Yeah.
that's all it is. People just got types.
So you just saw like this Asian woman and just like,
Oh,
oh, and you just
I
like,
went to Vegas. This EDC Vegas is like this big festival, and there was a variety of people, white people, black people, Asian people, and I saw the Asian girls, and I was like, just
yeah,
I just I was just attracted. I haven't, I was attracted.
You were like, this
so,
is me.
Yeah,
That's dope.
I think everybody's got their type,
Facts. No, you're right. Everybody got their type, but you got your type to the point to where like you put it into your actual videos.
Yeah, so
every single one.
So it wasn't like I was like super serious, like, oh my God, like Asian girls. I wasn't. It was just a troll. I just wanted to put in my videos, and people found it funny, and it just became like a meme for my channel. So I just stuck with it.
That's dope. So I think you started doing that tagline. I can't remember how many years. It was like 4 or 5 years you were doing that tagline.
Yeah, I started like 2018 or something like that.
Yeah, you was doing a nice little tagline with it, and then obviously you met your wife. Okay,
yeah.
So come on, everybody knows she's Asian, right? So that's pretty dope. So congratulations, you got one, right? So let's talk about that. Like, did she know that this was like your thing? Like, did she watch your let's talk about the first time she watched a YouTube video. You had that tagline in there. What was her response?
She just thought it was funny. A lot of people nowadays get offended, but she was like, "Oh no, this is funny." Like, she's a laid back person, so she found it hilarious. Yeah.
That's dope. And so how did y'all meet? Was it just like was it friend or friend? Was it dating app? Like how did she know who you were before y'all met? Like,
yeah, so we met on Tinder back in 2018. We met on Tinder. We talked a little bit for friends, and we started dating. And then that's when I moved to Florida with the guys. And I wasn't, so we just kind of, we were like, I don't think this is going to work. I'm still down to be friends and whatnot, talk to each other, but I don't think we can be serious. Then I moved down to Florida. And then a couple of years later we got back. So yeah,
that's dope. And so did she knew that who you was? Like, as far as like this big YouTuber? Like, was that like one,
Mm-mm.
like, you know how some people like when they start dating, they want to flex and be like, yo, I'm a famous YouTuber. Was that
Oh
like
no, I
your
find that
icebreaker?
no. If you do that as cringe, that's so cringe.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no. You know, people and they're like Tinder bios be like, oh, YouTuber. No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
But no, I didn't tell her, not because like I didn't want to. I just like, you
You
know,
want to
I
know
just didn't tell her
exactly
until
from who
later
you
on.
were. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Not that I was like some popping individual back then, but yeah, no. I told her later on, and she was like, "Oh, that's cool. What do you post?" And I told her about
Yeah.
2K, and she's like, "Oh, okay." Like so, yeah.
Yeah.
And she, you know,
Yeah.
now that you know we're married and whatnot. Before that, you know, when we were living together, she understood that you know, this is my full time job, but she understands it's like it's not just a game. She understands it's like time to create content and you know
Yeah.
support this family. So yeah,
Facts.
it's
Because
cool.
it's funny because that's kind of like my wife the same way. Even though my wife is we go further back, so I met her in college, but it was the same thing. Letting like telling her like, hey, like I make money off this stuff now. She was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? So you're
Yeah,
explaining that and stuff like whatever. But then when they start seeing their first checks roll in, they're like, okay, I see.
yeah,
This is pretty cool, right?
yep.
So that's pretty dope, man. And then okay, obviously, you end up getting married, you have your son. So now you're into fatherhood. Welcome to the fraternity of the fatherhood.
Appreciate that.
Um, that's it changes everything. It changes a lot. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Being a full-time streamer, and we'll talk about that before we get off, but how much has having a son changed your perspective on life and just like your streaming, just your like in general life in general as far as what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so I feel like my life now obviously is full of joy and it's very tiring at the same time, uh, obviously. But I think I have way more structure to my life now. Definitely on like a way better consistent schedule. You literally have to with a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's for the better for sure. I've learned um, you got to. It's not about you anymore as a father. It's I mean as me, it's not about me
Yeah.
anymore. It's about what's best for the baby and the wife overall. And
Yeah.
yeah, dude, I've learned a lot over the past few months, man. Just learning that like you know when things go south, it's like you have a baby. What are you gonna do? You can't cry about it. You just got to thug it out.
Exactly.
You
Hey,
know?
you can have a good day. You can have a great day. You can have something in between. The kids, they just want dad. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like, it's gonna be funny because obviously, he's young. And hopefully you have more and they get older and stuff. I have a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, and
that's awesome.
the 14-year-old. Well, I have five in total, but I'm talking about the older ones. They they look at it, it's a cool thing. Like they go to school, their that's Uncle Demi's, daughter, that's Uncle Demi's
That's
son. Like
cool.
they're like all popular stuff, like whatever. So the moment you get that, you don't know how old he be, you don't know first grade, second, who knows what it is, but it's crazy to think, you know what I'm saying, that type of perspective. But then when it comes to my three little ones, it's just like I'm just dad to them, right? Actually,
Yeah,
all of them just dad to them, right? So it's like you can get off your stream, have a great stream, you can, millions of followers and all this stuff, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, like come feed, change diapers, like
yeah,
it's just like
yeah.
it's like so what I'm getting at, it's like the most humbling thing ever. You can have the biggest head ever, but when you come home, it's so satisfying because you can be yourself and like you can kick back. You don't have to just be in, everybody up in your face or expecting things from you other than just like you see genuine love from
Hmm.
your son. It's an amazing feeling with fatherhood. So
It
I'm
is.
just it's crazy to think how much I've seen from your first YouTube videos when I first met you all the way up until now. It's like crazy to see how
Yep.
y'all getting older, y'all getting married, having kids, so it's crazy how it's a full circle. So my question is, we got two more questions. One, you kind of made a pivot. You were a huge content creator, then you went straight into streaming. I feel like you go, you do both, but it's like you go hard in streaming. You're a daily streamer now. Why did you make that pivot from streaming when it's like you got a kid now? It's to me, it's harder now because you got
Hmm.
to consistently wake up every day and stream for a long time. And you've been doing that for like maybe I say probably the past 3.5, 4 years. Why such a big pivot?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier in the podcast, and when 2K21 came out, I had a Facebook contract where I had to stream like 160 hours a month, something like that. And
Hmm.
when that contract came to an end, I was like, I kind of want to go back to Twitch and try it out. and just make some extra revenue. It'd be cool. So I started streaming out. I started streaming back in like December of 2021 when 2K22 was out. Took that series for a couple of years, and I just grew a great audience on there. I have just a big family on Twitch. It's so cool. I have like a consistent 200, 300 people, same people that come through the chat all the time, that are in there 24/7 as soon as I'm live. Just built a
Mm-hmm.
big family, and it's so cool because I'm able to interact with the people that want to support at obviously it's live, so it's different from YouTube with um, YouTube comments. You can only reply, so it's really cool
Yeah.
streaming on Twitch. I look forward to doing it. I still like doing YouTube. At the moment, it's a lot different for me. I've kind of laid back on the creative content because I just don't think that it gets as much views anymore. So I just kind of push back to the roots, me doing like search related videos, best jump shots, etc. Um,
Yeah.
but it's really cool streaming. I get to interact with people who support, and I would definitely say my passion is mainly on Twitch now. I still
Yeah.
enjoy YouTube a lot, but Twitch is definitely like a higher priority. I love streaming.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to think where you started from, and now as a daily streamer on Twitch is pretty amazing, brother. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wish I had the time to be able to do that. But then it's like, you know, streaming is not for everybody, And
Hmm.
I watch you first, like you're right. You got to get up every day. You got to stream it, but then you have to find your niche, and you found your niche. You're just good as hell at the game, you know.
Thanks.
So it's like people watch you. You're entertaining as hell. You're entertaining too. So you kind of
Thanks.
hit two tiers. Well, actually, shit, you probably hit three because you educate, you entertain, at the same time, and you're competitive. So like usually people will watch one to three. You kind of have all three, and that's kind of why you one of the top consistent streamers we have on Twitch. Up there again, like I said, well, just same thing. We got the bullets. Like when you look, and if all you're like streaming, the people that you're gonna see at the top of the 2K. You're right up
Yep.
there with that. So man, big ups to you for that. My question is, what is the future? Like, you're looking 5 years down the road. Where do you see yourself? What type of plans? You have any plans or ambitions or anything? Or right now you're just kind of taking it one day at a time?
Definitely a mixture. Right now, I'm taking it one day at a time. Uh, Obviously, I'm going to stick with 2K content for a little bit. My main goal, which I've mentioned this a lot on Twitch, is the release of GTA 6.
Mm,
I will be changing my whole channel over to GTA 6. The main channel, I will fully move over there. Post a lot of
dope.
tips and tricks, and I probably won't be posting 2K unless it's a release of 2K.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's time for like just
A shift.
a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I feel like it's not really a risk. I think it's a risk if I don't try it out. If I
Yeah.
don't try something else out, I mean, the views are going to be, through the roof. They're going to be endless. And
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a great opportunity. Obviously, I've learned a lot over the years with content when it comes to analytics and the algorithm. I've learned a lot, and I think I'll be able to take advantage of that when GTA 6 drops. So I'm excited for GTA
Dope.
6. Obviously, it's going to be fun just playing the game, but that
Mm-hmm.
is the goal when it comes out, whenever it does, maybe late
Yeah.
2025, early 2026. But
Jesus, you can't come quick enough, man. I
I
think
know, I know.
everybody's just kind of really. It's funny because this is me 20. So this is my fourth. Let me see, 20, 21. No, this is my fifth year. Damn. So this is my fifth year doing 2K content, and you're right. I'm 5 years in. I'm like, bro, I'm getting fatigued on like doing 2K content. You are 8 years.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been doing it
So
for a
it's
long
like,
time.
yeah. So I think that's pretty dope. You're going to be playing GTA 6, streaming it, and then, of course, clipping that shit, putting it on YouTube, doing video
Yep.
stuff on it, whatever. I think that's going to be dope to see revitalize. And I mean, I won't even say revitalize because you're like, if anybody has not seen your Twitch streams, like you're good to go. Like you got the energy drink, you're good to go, bro. Like
Yeah. Right.
you're amped and ready. You're amped and ready to go all the time. I want to knock out these 3 questions, and then I'm gonna get you out of here, bro. These are gonna be just some rapid fires, man. All right.
Right.
Outside of your car, all right, because I know that was it. But what was what was the next biggest purchase you made with your YouTube check? What was a big purchase that you made?
Definitely the down payment on the house for sure.
Mm.
Got a house.
Mm.
I got a house at the right time, right before the market, went down. But uh, yeah, I got it in like
Grown man
May of
shit.
2021. Yeah, got a house now, own a house. So yeah. Fight the
Congrats. I
best
didn't know
one.
that. That's dope. That's dope.
Thanks,
Okay,
thanks.
so there you go, man. That's smart. You see, guys, if you're watching, he got a house. He ain't buy no chain. He ain't do no crazy stuff. He got a house. That's
Yeah,
smart.
don't
All
buy
right.
cars, buy houses.
Yeah, buy houses. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that actually appreciates, that doesn't depreciate. That's a whole nother
Yep.
video, though. All right.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, actually, this is the last question. What advice will you give individuals looking to become a content creator?
I would definitely say patience. Be very patient. And whatever you want to do, go for it and stick to it. So if you want to grow in 2K, don't post 2K, MLB, GTA. You got to find a niche, stick to it. I definitely recommend getting into a game. If you're looking at gaming videos, I would definitely get into a game that has a smaller audience. Believe it or not, when people say 2K is dead, I can't grow. When 2K viewership is lowest, that is the perfect time to stream. That is the perfect time to make videos. Because your videos will have more eyes on it, less people uploading and whatnot. So just stay patient, takes time. Do what you got to do to pay the bills, and then sacrifice the time to make videos, to stream, and most of all, just have fun with it and enjoy it, bro. Because if you're looking at it just for a check, you're gonna look at it just like a normal job. So have fun with it and go for it and be patient.
That's awesome. There you have it, man. You got the advice of a man that's about to hit 1 million subs on YouTube pretty soon. It's again, man. This is crazy to think about this, man. Your journey, your growth, man. Again, I'm so thankful to have you come on board, man, and talk to me. You couldn't ask for a better conversation. Hopefully you enjoyed the conversation. I know I enjoyed the
It was awesome.
conversation.
I
I'm pretty
appreciate
sure.
it. Thank
Yeah,
you for
get
having
your
me
story
on.
out. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of
Because
course.
at the end of the day, you didn't have to do it, and you did come on. And what I like is the fact that you're honest, you're forthcoming, and genuine, and you can't ask for anything better than that for this podcast. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to get this out. I can't wait for this to come out, man. So, anywho, any last parting words? Are you good to go?
Shout out to Uncle Demi for having me on the podcast, and shout out to everyone who watched the video throughout the whole video. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe. He's dropping more podcasts, so stay tuned in.
Damn, Skippy. And also, all your socials. You gotta put them socials down there, man. Let them know. No, your socials. Let them know.
Do I even know him? Twitter's like at ColetheMan YT. ColetheMan on YouTube, ColetheMan on Twitch. Yeah, just come follow me on Twitch. ColetheMan on Twitch. Come through.
Yeah, please, yo. And he's a daily streamer too. You'll see him. He'll pop it. He's gonna be there first thing, man. All right. But anyway, other than that, make sure you go ahead, like he said, drop a like, subscribe. If you're watching this on any other ones, Amazon, Spotify, wherever, again, just make sure you like it up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. But other than that, it's your favorite old head, Uncle Demi, man. You already know, man. We'll be back really, really soon. Next Friday, as always, with another banger, man. Other than that, enjoy.